Hello guys and welcome back to Wonders Sessions. So it's been a long time since there has been any uploads on Wonders Minds, but on the occasion of the counting of the votes of the Lok Sabha election, here's a quick update on what's happening in the country right now. So of course, if everyone is watching this, everyone watching the election results. So one thing is sure that of course the counting is still going on, but one thing is sure that we are headed for a coalition government, and that no party will be gaining majority on its own. And so the biggest gainer of this election has to be Congress, and the biggest loser is again BJP. So and before starting, I would like to point out to this wonderful tweet that I have got. Then, given that, then let's start with whatever is happening. So the thing is that in this, firstly, the biggest loss of for BJP has come arguably from Uttar Pradesh and Bengal. So in Uttar Pradesh, what has happened is that if we remember, then Yogi Adityanath, who is the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, had told about 35 nominations that they should be replaced, but they have not been, and they have all lost in the elections. So there must be some, like, I am not from Uttar Pradesh, I don't really know what's happening and why this loss has happened, but one thing I can be sure is that the MP has not really worked, for the demands of the people. And we have to remember again that Uttar Pradesh is a place which has a significant population of minorities. So, like, central government has worked for UP, no doubt, and the state government has also, and state government has again won. Yogi Adityanath won this time, so they are voting for the state government, but there must be something that the local MPs have not worked. And one thing is sure, that this time the Modi factor has not really worked. The Modi magic has not really worked. And this time, most probably and most likely, people have voted for the local candidate, and that's why this has happened. Nextly, Ayodhya has been a big shocker because Ayodhya has 40% Muslim population, but the thing is that Ayodhya, like, it's not just about the temple, it's about the local economy. It has grown because thanks to the temple, now there are so many influx of tourists, and there is these hotels being made. Infrastructure, the civic infrastructure has improved so much, and there has been a new way, a method of livelihood has happened. But still there has been a loss for the like the trailing the BJP candidate from that. So it's quite a shocker actually, Ayodhya. Now coming to Bengal, what has happened mostly for BJP is that like, this is something that has happened in the previous um, the Vidhan Sabha election as well, that took place in 2021. So what happened is that BJP has given candidature to people searching over. So the problem is that, if let's say, if imagine you are a person who is working for a party day and night against someone, and then you see that before the candidature is announced, that same person has now jumped over to the ship, and that person is getting the ticket, then what would you feel as a person? So that is exactly what has happened to all the BJP workers in Bengal. They have done this, like, in the Vidhan Sabha election, and they have not learned their lesson this time as well, and the same thing has happened as was the previous in the Vidhan Sabha. What happened that TMC won with the highest ever count, and the highest ever vote margin, and the highest ever vote percentage. And the same thing has happened in this Lok Sabha election as well. After such amazing performance in 2019's Lok Sabha election, it was expected from everyone, including all the people living in Bengal, that BJP will do far better. Given that all the controversy, all the scams that are happening in Bengal, all the Sunday Skali incidents, then all the teacher recruitment scams, and all the scams that have been, like, now investigated, and ministers are in jail. But still, the that thing has worked. And the thing is that in against BJP, one thing is that this time Congress's campaign had been a lot better than it was. They have successfully, and like, they tried to make an alliance in 2019 as well, but they had failed. This time they have kind of had a successful alliance, and they have kind of had a successful campaign as well. And mostly in the like IT, if you see the Instagram reels that has been made to show like some of the past videos of Rahul Gandhi, that how he has been like answering questions so such brilliantly, so those have worked to some extent. And the advert games, and mostly what has worked against BJP is, like, to a good extent, has been the electoral bonds, like that, the unconstitutional electoral bond scheme which was declared unconstitutional, and the Supreme Court had ordered the SBI to like give all the data. So that has worked. Obviously every party benefited from that, but the thing is that BJP was the party that brought this act, that brought that bill into the parliament and signed and, like, ascended it into an act. So the BJP was the primary party behind that. So this worked a lot against BJP. And the general, like, after COVID, the problem is that most people are now like their savings have now gone. A lot of people have like been unemployed, and then we all know that how much unemployment rate is there in the country. So that also worked against BJP, that they did not have any freebie in their manifesto, unlike the other parties, unlike the opposition. They had quite a good number of freebie schemes announced in their manifesto. That also worked against BJP. Like, the primary reason that the BJP won in MP was that they had the freebie schemes like Lully Band scheme. That was the primary reason that they won in Madhya Pradesh, and they had no freebie in the Lok Sabha election, so they actually lost a good amount of votes and good number of seats. So this election has been quite, like, it has been quite an important one. Again, the whole thing that Modi as a dictator, that is now going to go, because now we will have a strong opposition. But again, the thing is that when in this time phrase we had the Ram Mandir decision, we had the all these decisions, then the fact that in the previous 10 years we have had the 370 article 370 removed, and all thanks to the fact that there was a clear majority. But this time, yes, CAA is going to happen. CAA has already started. NRC will also happen, because those are mandated by the Supreme Court. But Uniform Civil Code, that, and the other temple disputes, there's a good likeliness that those will not really take place, at least in this Lok Sabha term, because they don't have a clear majority this time. So those decisions that they could take fearlessly, that might not happen this term. But yeah, let's, like, this has to be an eye opener for both, that, well, neither does all infra and no such, like, that overconfidence that the BJP had, that the Modi factor would work this time around as well, that has successfully worked against them. That overconfidence will now be gone. That they also have to take the, like, they have to make sure that they did like think that they will be taking all even the minorities into account and all. But again, they what they did is what they did wrong is that they have not really the MP's performance has not been taken into much account, and that the BJP has focused more on the central government as as a whole. And also, yes, at the same time, yes, they have won in, like, Vidhan Sabha elections. Now in the last two elections, like in Arunachal Pradesh they have won, in Andhra Pradesh today they have won with the alliance, and then in Odisha also they have defeated Navin Patnaik, who has been incumbent as CM for so many years. And so clearly it's not like people are not really voting for BJP. The problem is that BJP, there has been certain problems that the BJP must address. And that one thing that overconfidence, and the fact that they have portrayed Modi as a god-like character, and then the entire washing machine thing. Like, we have to understand that there is this wrong, that yes, that when a person is switching over to the BJP, they all the cases against them, all the CBI charge sheets against them, they're magically dropped. And like there has been no arrest on any of those alliance members, any of and the fact that the I'm forgetting his name, but the person who was accused of so many cases of rape and all, and that person, that he fled the country with a diplomat passport. How? These things needs to be answered, and that the BJP needs to understand that this washing machine thing, it's a valid point. Yes, of course, the opposition, it's not like they have not done corruption. So many people are in jail, so many ministers are in jail, and they have not got the bail from the courts. So that shows that they have done, there is a need for investigation. So, but why not any BJP member? It's not like they have not done any corruption, so why not? That is a question that would stay, and the overconfidence, it's a loss. It's they have they had targeted 400, and that they are not even crossing the majority. The alliance, of course, is, but they are not honest on their own crossing the majority. So this should make them grounded, and this also should be a message to the opposition that freebies will fetch you votes, but not really the majority. So that's it. This has been quite a interesting election, I must say. Like, since everyone was kind of looking at, maybe like people were thinking of an absolute majority for any of, like, most people were thinking of it. Obviously, the ruling party should be getting that, like, close to 350 something, but that did not happen, and neither did the opposition manage to get that much. Yes, they have got a good amount, but not that the magic number. So this should be a message to both, and this has been quite an interesting election for sure. That's like, and again, one thing that worked against BJP again was the entire, like, the fact that there was so less polling. The percentage was very low, and that kind of, in Uttar Pradesh at least, that kind of worked against BJP as well. So all these factors are quite interesting, and this has been quite an interesting election for sure. Okay, so it's been a video after a long time. So thanks for watching, and make sure that you keep subscribed, because soon we will have some really good content. Stay tuned, and especially on Wonder Sessions, there will be a lot new content coming up in the end of this month and in July. So stay tuned to that. Thanks for watching.